Get started. Welcome to Bon Jovi Discussions. Today I'm having my buddy Matt from Charleston, South Carolina come on today, and we are going to talk about the Raleigh show that we both went to last night. But before we get into that, how you doing, buddy?
Hey Jerry, how are you?
Good. You're in a hotel room, and I know you're going to the Greenville show tomorrow. So
I am. We made it to Greenville, so ready for the show tomorrow.
Yeah, I wanted to do Greenville so bad, but I had to get back to work, and we actually just got home 2 seconds before me hopping on here to do this. So it's been a long day, but I wanted to do it while it was fresh in my mind. So before we get into the set list, I always like to ask my guests that come on here, how did you become a fan?
So I grew up, huge music fan growing up. I don't know. I grew up listening to 80s music. Somewhere along the way, I've started really liking Bon Jovi. Always been an 80s fan. I kind of grew up in the 90s, but 80s always meant more to me than the 90s. So I want to say I always had the desire to go out of the country and see some big rock band. So Toronto 2013 was my first Bon Jovi show in February. So that was the first show I've been to.
And what was the number of yours last night? What number did you hit?
I think, let's see, I did 2 in 2017, 2 in 2018, and then I've done 2 so far this year. So that makes 7. So
nice. And then 8 tomorrow night.
8 tomorrow night. Yep.
Well, let's get right into it, buddy. So we've been following each other on Twitter for a while now, and then we both knew that we were going to the show. So we actually met up before, and I still feel so bad. So my other buddy Kevin and we found this, and I really didn't do too much digging around in this place. I just saw that the reviews were good, but we ended up going we wanted to go somewhere nearby. It was this barbecue place, and oh my gosh, I couldn't even eat it. And it's very rare for me to. I won't name the place, but oh man, I couldn't.
Yeah, it's a hole in the wall, but I thought the barbecue was pretty good myself, so I can't complain as far as that goes.
Yeah,
the price was right.
Yeah, it is what it is. So then after we all had dinner, you, me, some other friends, we went to the venue, and I don't know if I'm just bringing a curse around me or not, but when I went to Milwaukee, the weather was supposed to be really nice and warm, but then it ended up being cold. And then Raleigh was supposed to be in the 70s, and it ended up being in the 50s. And now I think Raleigh's going to be in the 80s this week. So I'm hoping for Nashville that I get warm weather. But so we stood in line outside for an hour or so, just kind of hanging out with people and talking. But man, it was freezing. I wish I'd brought my jacket.
Me too. We were frozen.
Yeah. So I didn't do VIP this tour, and I know that you did. You didn't do the full-on Bed of Roses VIP second row, but you did. I think it was the ultimate package, which gives you a seat in rows 10 to 20.
Yeah, I did. The fan package is what I did. And if you want to see, I got a fanny pack. Is kind of what came with that. And then inside the fanny pack, which I thought this was actually the coolest thing in there. This is a cell phone charger.
Nice.
Yeah. So it comes with
did it come pre-charged?
It did actually.
Nice.
Yeah. So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
You got a little thing of hand sanitizer there.
Nice.
Some earplugs with a Bon Jovi logo on there as well.
Oh wow!
And of course the guitar picks. So
what do the guitar picks look like?
Let me open those up. They're the 2020 logo.
Oh wow!
They're in a plastic wrapper here. Try to get into it.
Yeah, that's okay. That's cool. See, what's funny? Like I like the Better Rosés package, but the merch wasn't that good. Wow.
That's one of them. Yep.
Yeah, that's nice. It's funny because that merch package is a lot better than the more expensive packages.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to believe. It really is.
Yeah, I wish they would have even included that stuff with what we, but hey, it is what it is. So did
Yeah.
you get in? So I know the gates didn't open until 7. Did you get in any earlier than that?
So I guess by listening to the guy at the entryway, the security guy, I guess they let the Bed of Roses package in at like 6:15 or so. I'm guessing,
Yeah,
maybe 6:30, and then they wouldn't let us in until 6:45. So we got in 15 minutes early,
yeah,
which it did pay off. We got in there and did some shopping. I bought the hoodie, the Bon Jovi Forever hoodie, like you
I
bought.
love that. Yeah.
I got that one, and then I actually got two of those, one for my daughter, and then I bought a long sleeve T-shirt as well. I meant to show you this earlier. So that was the hat that came in the fanny pack as well.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Now, did it have because there was one on the merch stand that I liked, but it had like those weird, goofy looking things on the side. Does it have anything on the sides of that hat?
No, nothing on the side. Just says Bon Jovi 2020 tour on the front.
Nice.
And that's it. Yep.
Yeah, I ended up getting in Milwaukee. I got the band shirt, the full band on it, and then I got the Forever hoodie, and then I got the signed poster. And last night I got the patriotic shirt. And I was gonna get the white Forever shirt, but I guess it's in women's. I didn't know that. It looked like it was a unisex.
Yeah, it
So
did.
so I should have got that for my wife, but and then for Nashville I'll probably get the slippery shirt, which I didn't see the slippery shirt in Milwaukee. So I think that's a newly added.
I
uh,
agree, and I did. I wound up buying the slippery shirt as well, and it
yeah,
it was nice. Everything was
yeah,
super comfy.
yeah. So I think I'm gonna get that at Nashville. But so yeah, so we got in at 7, got some merch, went to the restroom, and then we kind of just saw some friends. I mean, I came to you guys for a little bit, and I saw some other friends. And what did you think of the
Yes.
opening band, real quick? Did you think they were pretty decent?
I honestly didn't listen. As soon as they started playing, I got up and went and used the restroom and got something to drink, and just got ready for Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they were good. The sound I think was a little off, but yeah, I don't think it was bad though. But so what were your seats? Row 11?
yeah, we were row 11, seats 3 and 4,
Yeah,
right in the center, right in front of John. And they were good seats. Yeah, I can't really complain.
yeah, yeah. 11th row is pretty. Yeah, I'm willing to do anything 15 rows to the front row. That's my yeah. But like everything was pretty close. I think. We were 4th row to John's left, so that was a pretty good view. But 11th row still is good. Um, yeah, other than that, it was just kind of like I saw a lot of good friends that I haven't seen in a few shows, few years, so it was nice to kind of catch up with some people. I've never been to Raleigh before to see them, so it was nice to see them in a new city. Have you seen them in Raleigh before?
I have not. That was my first
Okay,
time in
that'd be first.
Raleigh. Yep.
Okay, so before we get into the set list and so, what did you think of the show overall?
I loved it, man. I mean, I guess the fact that it's been 4 years since I've saw them.
Yeah,
So I mean, it was like Christmas for me, and every night's been like Christmas. I mean,
yeah,
I wished I could do more, but we got to go
yeah.
back to work.
Yeah, if you gotta go, that's the trouble is getting back into the normal routine of life and all that. But yeah, I thought the show was good too. Compared to Milwaukee and this one, I would say I liked Milwaukee a little better, but I think this was still a good show.
It
John was super happy,
Yes,
and
it seems to me when I've only seen two at this point, but it seems like he keeps getting more energetic every night.
yeah, yeah.
And I think we kind of talked about the jacket. The jacket that he opened with was awesome. I loved it.
Oh yeah, and I think that's the first time he's worn on this tour, 5 shows in. It almost at first I thought it looked like because in 2000 the Have a Nice Day tour, he wore that kind of like a black jacket. That tour and the Circle tour, he kind of had that similar jacket design, but on
Yeah,
this jacket, I think it's laced a little differently, and on the back it had that Black Heart and Dagger
yeah,
logo.
which was awesome. Yeah,
So I thought that was pretty cool. One of the things I really enjoyed about this show too was David and Phil. They had a lot of interaction, and they kept playing jokes on each other or just like cracking jokes. So I thought that was pretty good. Tico was he was on fire, especially during Faith, which we'll get into. But how about we start diving into the set list? So the show I think started a little bit before 11 or 8:30, right? Just a few minutes, I think.
Yeah, I want to say 8:20 or so, something like that.
Yeah, the
It's
times have
kind
been
of the norm.
yeah 8:15 one night, 8:20 the next, 8:35. So yeah, I think it was a little before 8:30. Obviously they opened up with Limitless. One thing that I want to say about when they opened up, I thought this was a really good performance of Limitless, but I don't know if you caught. I think it was in the beginning of the show or maybe at the end of Limitless, but he was trying to get people up. Not during Bad Name when he's getting people up out of their seats, but on Phil's side, all the way to the right, John was like working the crowd a little bit. Did you see the guy that was well, John mimicked him. The guy was sitting in the front row like this.
I did. I saw
Did
that.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the
And
guy
then
had his arms crossed and
yeah,
wasn't really excited. And John's like, "What are you doing?
yeah,
Get up!"
John was like being playful with it. I don't know what the guy did back, but John went like this
Right.
to him. The guy didn't do anything, but he just kind of stayed the same. And then John was like, "What the fuck?" And then
Yeah, I saw
just hopped around
that.
I couldn't believe that.
I couldn't either. That was pretty
Yeah,
funny though.
but that
I would
was
like to see. I didn't get to see the guy, but I would love to seen yeah, his reaction.
yeah. But I was telling Rachel and I were talking about it today, and she's like, why would you? Because we both know how expensive it is to have those kind of seats, and so Rachel was like, why would you spend all
Right.
that money just to sit there and give it to a fan that would really appreciate having that
Yeah,
spot, But
absolutely.
yeah, you have anything else to say about Limitless?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. As far as the record goes, um, I wasn't quite sure how I would enjoy Limitless, but I'll be honest
Yeah,
with you, it's to me it was much better live than it was on record, and I
yeah,
personally enjoyed it as a show opener. I really did.
yeah. I did too. What I really liked about it is that the outro that they do with the Phil doing the solo, and then you kind of do. Uh, you see John doing the mic thing, holding the mic up to Rich, or not Richie, but to Phil's guitar. And the reason I
Yep.
mentioned Richie there was because that was something that Richie and John kind of did. But with Limitless, that's something that Phil did with the band. So rightfully so, it's cool to see that, again, because that didn't
Yeah.
happen. I don't think it really happened very much on the last tour. And so, John holding the mic stand up to Phil rocking on that solo, that was great.
Yeah.
Um, and then
It
the
was
next
great.
one, yeah, next one was radio. I'm glad this is a staple every night because over the years, and we talked about this yesterday, you were lucky to see it. They didn't do it very often, but they've done it once or twice or a few times every tour. But it's so nice that this has become a staple, second song in the list. And but I thought it was good. I really don't have anything much to say about it, though, other than I thought it was good. I'm glad I got to see it a second time this tour. How about
Me
you?
too. Yeah, me too. Absolutely. The first time I'd heard it was the Charlotte show, and I
Yeah.
was blown away, and I was definitely happy to see it again. So
Yeah. Next one was Bad Name. So, back before Bad Name, when he gets, this ain't your computer screen. I was listening to him talk, and you could tell how vocally good he sounded that night. But with the first two songs, but then, when he talks, as diehards, I don't know if you, maybe I'm just crazy, or maybe you can. I know other fans feel the same way too. Based on how he talks, you can kind of tell how he's feeling vocally. Like I said, I thought he sounded great, and but Bad Name was good. I thought the band's backing vocals were incredible on it. For some, I don't know if it was just the way that where I was, you notice sound is different depending on where you sit at each venue, and each venue is obviously different. But for Bad Name, I thought the band's vocals were, and the instrumentals too, were a lot louder and in your face, especially like with Tico. I don't know if did you notice that too? How Tico kind of overpowered everything else, which I
I
thought was good. I thought it was great.
yeah. I didn't notice. I'll be honest. Where I was sitting, the thing that I noticed the most was, yeah, when he got up and was trying to get everybody out of their seats. I looked around, the arena from 11 rows back, and there were a lot of people. I was quite surprised in I guess the 100 level or 200 level, were super excited. I mean, just really,
Yeah,
really pumped. And I think John fed off that.
yeah. And that was the thing too. And throughout the entire show, John was very appreciative of the crowd. He was, I mean, the crowd was
Very.
pretty hype, you know, and you could tell John was happy with the crowd because he complimented the crowd quite a few times. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
agreed.
Born to Follow was the next one. I thought it was great. This one, you know, with me following the set list every night and with this being my second show, and I talked about this with Becca for the Milwaukee show on the previous episode. I think Born to Follow would be a good one to kind of enter the fourth song in the set. I think this would be good to kind of take out, put Because We Can in, or even Sleep When I'm Dead, or you know, even Beautiful Drug or, you know, Lost Highway even, you know, kind of interchange those songs. But otherwise,
Yeah.
you know, I enjoyed Born to Follow. The one thing that I really look forward to with Born to Follow now is the outro that they added in from the last tour. They did it in Europe, you know, at the end. You know, they kind of do that build up and then Phil does like this really cool solo at the end.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
I enjoyed the song. I've heard it, I guess over the last couple of tours quite a few times. So,
Yeah.
uh, being, what I call a diehard, I would love to hear, something else. We talked about this earlier,
Yeah.
but I'll Be There For You didn't get played,
I
and
know.
I
And it
would
was
love to hear it one day.
it was an audible. And for
Right.
people that this is a common question that I've been getting a lot on Twitter, which I'm happy to help and answer. But an audible is a song like "I'll Be There for You" and "In These Arms." So it wasn't in the actual set list, but you know some audibles get put on the set list just in case he's feeling it, but he's not sure if he wants to do it. So this gives, you know, John writes the set list an hour or two before the show starts. And once he does, it gets dispersed to the band members, to the production crew. So they kind of, you know, the band knows, okay, we make sure we know how to play. I'll Be There for You and In These Arms, blah, blah, blah. And the production crew will kind of get ready for the special lighting and special playbacks and you know, all the stuff that goes into making what the show what it is. So an audible isn't guaranteed to happen, but John could call it in the set list to play, or it could replace a song. It could be an encore. So that's my little side note there.
Yeah, and
But yeah,
it doesn't seem like, best I recall, he hasn't done an audible through this tour, has he? They've
no,
been on the list, but
yeah, St. Paul, I'll Be There For You was on the audible, but didn't get played that night. But in Milwaukee, it did.
right.
So yeah, I was hoping, you know, because every time that the lights went out and you could still see the band a little bit, and you would
Yeah.
see John grab his guitar. And you know, we're the kind of fans that know what song is coming next based on what guitar they're grabbing. And I saw John grabbing the guitar, and he plays it on the unscratched Takamine. But no, he went into Born to Follow, which yeah, because I saw him put. I think he had a capo on that guitar, and so I knew it was Born to Follow or Do What You Can. Which I'm surprised Do What You Can. You know, it got played in Omaha, but the last four shows he hasn't done it, and I'm surprised.
Yeah, I kind of am too. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I am quite surprised with it being,
Yeah.
kind of post pandemic, and being one of the bigger songs off 2020 that he's played. I really felt like he would play it almost every night. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
quite
don't know.
surprised too.
Yeah, I said in my previous episode, so I won't go too deep into it, but I feel like it should be a staple in the set list because to me, when I listen to it now, it feels like a triumphant song because you look back at how you felt when you first heard it 2 years
Right.
ago
Yep.
compared to now that, you know, shows are happening and stuff. It has that sound to it too, where you can it's like a sigh of relief that we got through it together and stuff like that. You know, in the first night when he played it, you know, in the bridge, you know, now we got the vaccination. You know, so
Right.
he changed
Right.
up the bridge a little bit, but yeah. So Born to Follow was good. Then it's you know, like I said, fans like us, we know what's coming next, depending on what John is talking about. So when he started talking about Ukraine, we knew that he was going into "It's My Life." For a split second, I thought he was going to do the rock original version of "We Don't Run." You know,
Yeah, me too.
said,
I know what you're saying. I thought that's kind of early for that, but
yeah. But his spiel kind of based on the first four nights, he was kind of combining his Ukraine spiel with the one he does before "It's My Life" and the one he does before the acoustic "We Don't Run." So I was like, okay, maybe he's changing it up finally tonight. And then it went into It's My Life. So, um, I really don't have anything much to say about It's My Life. I loved it, one of the fun songs, but do you have anything to say about that one?
No, just the fact that you and I agree that's the song that pretty much put us on Bon Jovi.
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
we
So
share that.
yeah, that's the one that I really just sing my heart out because that's, and a lot of times too, when I see the song live, I sing that song with so much heart because that's what started it all for me. And one thing I love about watching this song and watching David during this, I love watching David the entire song of It's My Life because the way that he does the back end vocals and stuff, like, it's funny when people will sing like the chorus, It's my life, it's now, I ain't gonna live forever, I just want to run, blah, blah, blah. I'll actually sing along with David because David holds the notes as John's singing the chorus.
Okay.
So if you watch David, he's like holding notes and just like doing like those loud vocals, and so I sing along with him and I'll watch him, and he's fun to watch during that song.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the nice part about being close is interacting with them and being able to see, yeah, just like you said earlier with Phil and David, seeing their interactions together and that type of thing.
yeah.
So
Or seeing like what they're like, like how Tico starts some songs. Like Tico will wait for John to be because John will do a couple sprays for his throat or drink his hot tea or whatever, and then you'll see John go like this, or he'll
yeah,
do it to David, or just those little interactions. It's cool to see. Next one is Just Older. I'm glad it's being but it's nice that they're doing like a Crush song back to back. It's My Life Than Just Older. Um, this one
yeah.
I think. I'm sorry.
No, I love Just Older
Yeah.
myself. And you had a previous guest on there that talked about it. I just turned 40, so it means more now so than it did before. So it's cool. I like the lyrics, and I'm glad that he's playing it on the tour.
Yeah, I'm glad too. This is one of those songs that I think could be interchanged with Born to Follow or Because We Can if it was added. Like putting this as the fourth song in the set list, I think would be, change.
Agreed.
Yeah. Next one's Born to Be My Baby. This one was actually really fun last night with the crowd.
It was.
The crowd, as soon as John screamed 2, 3, 4, that crowd went crazy. I don't know
Yeah.
about Europe, but where I was at, man, the first 6 songs it was a good show. And the crowd was here and there, I think, where I was sitting. But as soon as Born to Be My Baby came on, man, everyone was jumping and singing. It was great.
Yeah.
Um,
I
yeah,
agree.
that's good. Um, Next one is This House Is Not for Sale. This is the second night that's been earlier in the set list. I think the first Charlotte, wasn't it earlier in the set list? I think.
It was earlier, but I don't think it was quite as soon as it was in Raleigh. And it's here again the band I think does a really good job of that song, and I think that's
Oh,
probably why they put it on the set list.
yeah. My favorite part is the outro that Phil does at
Agreed.
the end. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the best part of the live performance is Phil. And like I was saying about the first 3 shows, this house was later. It was like even after the acoustic set, in the last half of the set. And so now Charlotte and last night, uh, it's earlier, which I think is pretty cool. Next, so this one's the next one, and this is the debut of the tour. And so
Right.
I Story of Love. This is the first time they've played it live on the tour, and I am surprised that we're 5 shows in, and it finally got played because this is absolutely John's favorite song on the album.
Yeah.
And just that's my opinion. I think it's his favorite. Every album there's always like a staple song that he just enjoys. And I'll let you talk about it first because I have a lot to say about it too.
Yeah. So as soon as he got up on stage and said, I haven't performed this in front of a large group, I got excited because I'm like, oh my God, we're about to hear something that's going to be great. Especially
Yeah,
if you've seen him a few times, that's what you want. You want to hear something that you haven't heard before. So um, I was excited. It was Story of Love.
yeah,
I like to hear it, and it's a well written song. So
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, when John was saying, we haven't played this song off the new album in front of a show or in a show yet, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, they haven't done Shine, they haven't done Love Can, Blood in the Water, Brothers in Arms, Story of Love. What could it be? I was hoping for Love Can or Shine. I was like, please, please, please,
Me
please,
too.
please. But I was gonna be happy with whatever it was,
Yeah.
and so this is Story of Love, and so I wanted to, I recorded and put it on YouTube because I knew it was going to be absolutely amazing, and it was. What I was extremely impressed with, and I knew when we first heard the song with there's two versions, one with just the 3-4 minute song, and then the 6 minute version with the band outro. And I knew it was going to be incredible. And I tell you, Shanks blew me away with that guitar solo. Man, that was so good. What'd you think of that?
Yeah, I know, I completely agree, and it's funny. I love Phil so much, I really do. And I personally, I don't give Shanks enough credit for being a good guitarist, but he really is.
Yeah.
Um, I will say this, something that kind of cracked me up last night. Did you see the jeans he was wearing last night?
Oh
His,
my!
I
I
was
was
just
like,
sitting there.
what?
I know.
It's
I was
like
wondering as well. I was like, "What are you doing?"
I've never seen him wear something like that. I'm not gonna,
No,
but it looks like jeans from the '70s.
it did. It did. It did.
Yeah.
No question. But yeah, he definitely played a good part. So
Oh yeah.
minus the jeans.
Yeah. Another note too. Well, I guess I'll do when we get to who says. But did you notice? Actually, I think so. Before we continue with after Story of Love, I think it was Born to Be maybe this house. But did you see that? I could be wrong, but there was some kind of technical difficulty on Tico's set. I saw the tech like working on the side. So I don't know if it was just something they do, but I didn't see that on Milwaukee. So and it felt like
No.
like the sound kind of went like the drums weren't matching.
Okay.
Did you
I
know?
remember seeing I remember seeing somebody back there at some point during the night, but I don't recall when.
Yeah, I think it might have been a different one, but there was something going on with Tico's drums because I remember John turned around and was looking at wait no, I remember okay it was born to follow because John kind of extended the whole Ukraine and I think that's why it was the we don't run spiel and the it's my life spiel
Okay.
with Ukraine was combined and longer because they were working on Tico's drum set. I saw that.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was just manual what they usually do, but I've never seen that before during right before It's My Life. So I think there was some kind of mix up there. I love seeing stuff. I love seeing stuff like that. So but yeah, so
Yeah,
back
me
to
too.
the Story of Love. Yeah, that was great. I was impressed with the outro. That was and during the performance, I'm wondering, could this be um will they do the full outro? Because I was looking at the time, I was like, they're still pretty good on time because they do about 10 songs before the acoustic. I was like, we're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we're 9 songs in. So, and I said, usually they still have about 10 more minutes. So, and they actually did 2 more. So this would be another good one too, like where John could like take a break and keep the faith somewhere else in the set list, like as an encore, and do Story of Love and having that outro enough time for him to go down and change and rest for a second.
Right.
I was thinking about that as well. Um, Let It Rain. That I
Yeah,
love the visual effects
me
that
too.
and I said this in the you look at the and that's like the one where I really want to like zoom out of my camera and just get that window pane on the screens, with John playing the guitar.
Yeah.
Um, One thing I really love about this performance, and I wish it was on the album, is that harmonica solo at the end
Yeah,
that he does.
I'm trying to think. There's at least two songs that he plays the harmonica in, if not three. So that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah,
I don't
the,
recall seeing that in prior tours, but he may have. I just may not have caught it.
he's done it a few times on Born to Be My Baby
Okay.
and Homebound Train, which with him doing the harmonica on Let It Rain and American Reckoning. I'm surprised he doesn't pull it out for Born to Be My Baby. There's still time, so
Yeah.
maybe we'll get lucky with that. But next one's Keep the Faith. I was super impressed with Tico on Faith last night. I mean, he was hitting those. I don't know if like I was saying with like Bad Name, like Tika was just so loud. I don't know if maybe it was just where I was sitting and there was a monitor or speaker somewhere, but I just felt like this entire show, Tika was just over the top and you could hear him more. But watching him on Keep the Faith last night was out of this world incredible. The way that the way that they ended the song, that boom, 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 it was just so loud and in your face. Did you notice that on the 11th row?
I didn't, but I will say, not to jump ahead, but at the end of the show, Tico was visually pumped. I mean, you could see it. You could tell like he
Oh
was
yeah,
having a good night. So
yeah, he was. Um, Anything you want to say about Keep the Faith?
no, I mean I loved it. I like Keep the Faith. Love hearing it live. I like the fact that the band continues to play after John goes up
Yeah,
underneath the stage. I think I'm glad it's a staple. I really am. I mean,
yeah,
it's a great song.
yeah, me too. Next, so the next, so after John takes his break, and then they go to the acoustic set. This is the die-hard fan in me that's saying this. I love that the acoustic set is back. Following, whether I'm at the show or I'm at home looking up updates, every night I'm hoping please change the acoustic setup.
Yeah,
I love American Reckoning, We Don't Run, and Saturday Night. I love those songs. But I want to see different songs in the acoustic set. I want to see You Want to Make a Memory, I Die for You, In These Arms acoustic, I think it said Make a Memory, Superman Tonight, even We Weren't Born to Follow acoustic. I love it, like
yeah,
they did in 2009 on the Actor Studio. All these different songs that they could do. Thank you for love. The list could go on. So every night I'm thinking, please put a surprise in, please change it up. Unfortunately, they didn't. And with Charlotte and Raleigh being back to back, I was thinking that they would change the acoustic. I was thinking, okay, maybe they'll put Lower the Flag in tonight instead of American Reckoning, like they did for
right,
St. Paul and Milwaukee. They interchanged.
yeah,
No, they didn't.
right.
Um, I enjoy American Reckoning for it's a good song, but it's not one I want to see every night. I like watching John doing the harmonica on it. Um, I'll let
Yeah,
you talk. I'm
no,
pretty passionate about the, the acoustic set here.
no, and it's okay. I get it. I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I would like to see them switch it up a little bit. You and I kind of talked about this, I think prior to the show, but I was quite surprised how much I really enjoy We Don't Run
Yeah,
acoustically. I didn't expect to. I really didn't, because I like it, with a full band, and I really enjoyed. I enjoyed it acoustically. Saturday night was good. Primarily the first time, I could see them. They obviously, with it being Saturday night, they kind of had to play it, but
yeah,
I'd always wanted to hear it acoustically, because I
yeah,
thought that was the best performance of Saturday night. So
yeah,
I've heard it 2 nights in a row now. So yeah, I could see where I'd like to see it
yeah.
switched up a little bit for sure.
You know,
Memory would be great that way. So
yeah. And this is the diehard fans in us talking. Obviously, the general fans, and this is another thing I want to bring up too. The general fans, they see the stuff on YouTube, like, oh, they're going to do this. I want to see this. Okay. One sad thing that I've noticed, and sometimes too, like the acoustic set is just a break for people, like especially like the older people to kind of sit down.
yeah,
I noticed American Reckoning and We Don't Run wasn't very received well. I mean, you got people that watched and enjoyed it, but you got the polite applause to it. You
yeah,
didn't get like us, clapping really hard and happy with it. So I was kind of sad about that because this crowd was really good in Raleigh, but not
they
during the
were.
acoustic
And
set.
I will say I was a little surprised at how good they were.
Yeah,
Being from the South, I typically think,
yeah,
the New Jersey shows will be better. The Madison Square Garden shows, maybe Milwaukee, something like that. I don't think of Raleigh, North Carolina, as being a great show. But you're right, the audience was great. More so than even Charlotte.
yeah,
I went to the Charlotte show, and I don't think they had quite the same energy. But I felt like John's energy was up a notch too. So
Oh yeah, I do too. But yeah, overall, I love the acoustics. I thought it was all three of those songs there were good. I
yeah,
just
I hope they do
yeah,
like a digital copy of "We Don't Run," the acoustic version. I would love to download
I'm
it.
I'm hoping that we do because John seems, especially when there's a crisis or like what they did with Unbroken with the Invictus,
Yeah,
the
right.
proceeds went to help support the cause. So with that video just being put out on YouTube, I have a feeling it's going to go on iTunes and stuff, wherever music is sold and bought.
I hope so.
Because I would love to have that version. I really enjoy it.
Me
So
too.
let's go into the next. So Sleep When I'm Dead was a debut last or 2 nights ago in Charlotte, and
Yeah.
we were on our way to Raleigh, and I saw that as an update. Oh, great! And so I was like crossing my fingers, please play it tonight, please. And you need a really good song to lift the crowd back up to get out of that somber because you're in that somber mood for about 15 minutes. And so Sleep When I'm Dead was so perfect. Like I heard Tika, the boom, 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 and it sounded so good. Like, and this brings me back to, Bad Name and It's My Life and all the Tika on the drums, where I was sitting, the drums were just amazing. And so Sleep was, it got me pumped. I was clapping
I
my hands
love.
so hard in the air.
Yeah, I love Sleep. I really do. Well, I think we kind of talked about this before the show, but "We Got It Going On" would be a good, but be
Yeah,
a good one to put in this spot as
yeah,
well. But both of those, I love to hear both those songs live.
yeah.
So
Yes. Another thing too I wish would come back are the medleys that they used to do like during Sleep and during Bad Medicine, but they don't. Especially because technically John could keep the show going till 11 if he
right.
wants. So every night there's always
Yeah.
been a quarter till they're done. So I'm always hoping that hey put an extra song in because you could potentially get
Me
a second
too.
encore
Yeah,
or
of
do
course.
a medley, but he doesn't. So. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Sleep for me, my whole highlight of the show was Sleep When I'm Dead. That was
Really
my
cool.
highlight. What was your highlight? Story of Love?
Yeah, I would say "Story of Love" just because the fact that he hasn't played it in front of a big audience. That's something you want to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is Lost Highway. This one I love Lost Highway, but this is
Me
one
too.
I wouldn't mind seeing swapped with because we can or something different every night.
Yeah.
So I really do like the visual effects that they do with Lost Highway. Even Wanted, which is the next one, like with Lost Highway, they have the highway in the
Yeah.
back, and that's kind of I love seeing that, and
Me too.
the lighting really get you the opportunity to get good photos, the way that the
Yeah.
lighting is on that. So,
Yeah, I
um,
took several photos during Lost Highway. So
yeah. And see, so what's so great about being a little further back is you see more of the stage. So that's another thing that I know too. For Milwaukee, I was front and center. And so you don't really get to appreciate the whole stage production because
right.
you're primarily just focused on the band in front of you. With me being fourth row last night, and this is probably even better, just better for you that you're 11 rows back. You see it all. You see the audience. You see the band. You see the lights. You see the stage production, the screen, everything.
Yeah.
And that's what's great about being a little further back is just being able to see it all.
Yeah,
Um,
because I will say, I was second row in Charlotte, and I couldn't feel the audience. Where from the 11th row last night, you could kind of feed off the audience as well and kind of feel what they were feeling. So I
yeah.
was I was quite surprised, last night. Like I said, in the 100 level, 200 level, even up into the 300 level, there was quite a few fans that were pumped. I mean, they were
Oh yeah.
excited to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Wanted, Have a Nice Day, Prayer. Those are the songs I just kind of because at this point the show is starting to wind down. So you're just like at this point just trying to embrace it and just have as much fun as you can and just enjoying the moment. So those are the songs I was like really appreciate. And I kept looking at my time. I'm like, I don't want it to end. I'm like thinking, okay,
I know.
they could potentially do Who Says in Bad Medicine and then maybe do an extra song or I think what they could do one extra song. What could they possibly do? And unfortunately, we didn't get that. But do you have anything to say about Wanted or Have a Nice Day or even Prayer?
Uh, I've got to say this. I mean, prayer for me, and we talked about this earlier. Prayer for me. Every time I hear it live, I get chills. I really do. And um, I know it's everybody else's favorite for the most part. I love Wanted. I love hearing that live. So, I mean, I don't know what I'd do if I went to a Bon Jovi show and couldn't hear those two songs played live.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many shows you've been to, you always get chills. Last night was my 58th show, and it never gets old when John sings. And there's another thing I've noticed too that's changing every night. I think it also depends on where time is. In Milwaukee, John didn't start out singing the chorus to prayer. Like we got a whole with the foot thumping and all
yeah.
that. In Milwaukee, he pointed to David saying, "Okay," and so David actually started prayer. Last night, John actually sang the chorus, and then obviously the crowd sings, and like you said, man, you get chills, and it's just like you look around the entire arena.
And
go, wow,
Agreed. Yeah.
it's incredible. So we'll go into the encore. Who Says and Bad Medicine. I was kind of hoping for something different than Who Says. I love Who Says,
I agree.
but if I see it once or twice on a tour,
Right.
I'm good. I want other songs. I was at that point. I saw Who Says, and I really loved it in Milwaukee. I think with me not being able to see the full band in a few years, it was good to see that again. But that was enough.
Yeah. I'd rather it be in a different place on the set list. I
Yeah.
love this town. Put that and Who Says together, or Lost Highway and it together, something like that. To do it is coming out of an encore.
Yeah.
I'd rather have something else there.
To me, the encore is always okay. Put a hit in there. I get it, but encore for like the diehard fans are like put something deep in, like Love's the Only Rule, or all these other songs you're hoping for. But now my wife noticed it, and some other friends noticed it too. I'm waiting for a video to surface because I didn't record Who Says. But did you see the mistake at the end when John kept going like, "What's going on?" I think one of the band. I don't know who. I gotta watch the video, but I think one of the band members messed up, and the band stopped singing "It's All Right," and it was just like an instrumental. And then John was kind of like, and then the band got right back into it. But I thought it was just me at first, but then after the show, my wife and some of my friends like noticed that like something was up at the end of Who Says. So that's the only thing. Yeah. It was very brief. It was like 10, 15 seconds. But yeah, Who Says was great. Bad Medicine was on fire. I thought that was amazing.
I love it, and I want to say I think the first time I heard it was the very first show in 2013 for me, and loved Bad Medicine, and couldn't wait to hear it again. And I think the last 2017 and 2018. I'm pretty sure they didn't play it. So for it to be on the set list every night again, this go around was great for me. I couldn't wait to hear it every single night.
Yeah, it's one of those great. And I was watching the clock, and I was like, no, I'm not like sitting there watching the clock. Me watching the clock means hoping that we're gonna get one more.
I know.
And especially because there was audibles, so
right.
But Bad Medicine was great. I loved it, and I love the way they get amped up, the one more time at the end.
Yeah, I know that always gets me pumped.
Yeah,
I wish every night he would wait. Come on, one more time.
Yeah, yep. And so then they do their bells, and as you said too, Tico was pumping. Tico was like walking around the stage.
He was.
You never really see Tico. I loved watching Tico during the acoustics. And another thing I want to mention about the acoustics, which I like, they didn't do it in Milwaukee, and I think it's all based on where they are on time. John introduced all the band members, so that was pretty cool.
It was. I'm pretty sure they didn't do that in Charlotte, but they did do it last night, which I thought was cool. I'm glad they did it.
Some nights they're doing it, some nights they're not. But John introduced and Tico got the biggest applause that night.
Agreed. Yeah.
I don't know why I always compare because all the band members are great, but Tico got the loudest applause that night, and like Tico kind of went like this, or whatever. There's something about Tico that night. He was what I also loved about Tico too is he doesn't really get a mic, so when they were singing Someday I'll Be Saturday Night Live, on Tico's side you have Tico, Everett, and Shanks, and so Tico's in the back, and he's just kind of like all of them are facing this way towards John, and then Tico's kind of like off to the side like this, and then he's like singing off into the Saturday Night into the air and stuff. He's like into it. I love that.
He does. Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. And I, after listening to your podcast, I guess last week maybe or whenever it was, I watched that and I liked seeing him back there just singing away, and he's kind of staring off into space. It looks like, but he's having a good time.
Yeah. So, after the show, you usually just kind of see Tico just go up, do his bow, and wave, and then he kind of goes. But last night he was walking around and saying hi to fans, and he was just happy. I loved it.
Very. Me too. Me too.
So, yeah, overall, I think it was a good show. I enjoyed it. If I had to compare between the shows that I've went to so far, Milwaukee or Raleigh, I'd have to say Milwaukee. I don't know if this is because it was the first show that I've seen on this tour. But the show still is great. It was great. I enjoy some of the little mistakes, because I love seeing stuff like that. It makes the show real.
Yeah.
I thought John sounded great. The band sounded great. Yeah.
Me too, man. I was pumped. I'm ready to go to one more. So
yeah. And I'll be, you have to message me. I'm curious to see how you want. And I'm actually curious about this too. Between Charlotte, Raleigh, and then Greenville, I'm kind of interested to see if this tomorrow's set list will be any different.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, surely at least one song will be different. I think we both wanted to hear, "Love's the Only Rule."
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe he'll throw a monkey wrench in there some way. I'll be there for you. I'm been on 7+ shows and haven't seen it. So
yeah, one thing we got off on a tangent. Saturday night, I posted the video today, and I knew people were going to comment on it. But did you notice that John was coughing in the second verse?
I did, yeah.
So what I have got, I think, sometimes like when you sing and stuff, like you swallow wrong or you breathe wrong, which causes you to cough. And people were just associating him with being sick. He never coughed or anything the rest of the show. It was just that second verse.
Just that one time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he was just he swallowed wrong or breathed wrong, and
he was even laughing about it. Best I remember.
Yeah.
Kind of smiling about it. So
yeah, something like. And then, but he got right back into it. It was fine the rest of the. So, but I knew people would comment, which is people weren't there, so they didn't know.
Of course, right.
So I wanted to comment on that just to kind of clarify for people listening. Anyway, buddy, I appreciate you taking the time. I know it's late tonight. We just got, but I appreciate you willing to hop on and talk about it. I had a blast with you and your wife yesterday. Rachel complimented you and your wife. Rachel thinks your wife is very sweet, and we had a blast meeting you guys and hanging out.
We did. We had a really good time. It was an honor. Glad we got to meet you.
Yeah. All right, but I'm going to end the recording here, then we'll say bye. And but thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Anytime.